All right. Hello, guys, gals, and everything in between. I am having a special show today. I am here with Donovan. For those of you who watched the show early in its inception,
infancy.
Yeah, Donovan was an occasional figure on the show. We've been talking for a while about potentially doing something, right?
Yeah.
What we decided on is D&D After Dark. Yeah.
Mike is muted on
Yours,
StreamYard.
yeah. Yours is because of the camera. It's muted on the camera, but we have a separate.
So
mic.
this is muted.
That is not muted.
Okay.
Yeah. It's been a minute. It's a completely different setup, in a completely different room with completely different stuff than he was used to last time. But I do remember you guys enjoyed when he was a part of the broadcast. So today, at least to the best of my knowledge, you have not been to the DOGE.gov website,
Nope.
have you? Okay. So
I hear all about it,
yeah,
but I
I'm
haven't
sure.
been there.
Okay,
once.
so first of all, there are a couple of things that I think people need to be aware of about you.
Okay.
You are not a social media guy.
I don't use Snapchat. I don't use Facebook. I don't use X. I don't use, what are the other ones? I know there's thousands.
Yeah,
and thousands.
Instagram and Threads, and there's a bunch of them.
I don't use, what is it? I can't remember. I don't even know. Tumblr.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that website dead?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
But what you do, basically, where do you get your news?
Usually from you, or you keep me plenty updated, or just in passing from memes about it, etc.
Right. You're a big fan of memes, though, right?
Do it agree.
Okay.
Do it agree.
Okay. So here's why this matters, because he has not been inundated with all of the information about Elon and X and Doge and he's heard a little bit here and there,
Mostly from you.
Yeah, mostly from me, and it's really just factual stuff.
Yeah.
So I figured today we'd take a very brief gander at the U.S. website, the official website for DOGE, right? Department of Government Efficiency. Yeah, and
I was gonna say something, but
no, by all means,
the name really speaks for itself. DOGE.
It really does,
because of course,
exactly. So we're gonna get into it here, and then we'll talk about kind of what we have planned moving forward with the show. How's that sound?
Yeah.
All right. So the splash page, right, or the landing page for DOGE looks like this. You go to doge.gov, which there you go. As you can see up here, doge.gov. This is the good.
I love just the itty bitty little text at the top. An official website of the United States government.
Exactly.
Because of all the normal anything that ends in .gov,
right,
always has that look to it, and this just doesn't,
right,
at all.
Exactly. It's
more modern.
Yeah.
Well.
And I think that's probably the biggest takeaway immediately, or at least the biggest first impression is this is very different from a normal .gov site.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So I don't know if you can see, let's see here. Let's put us down at the bottom. If you look up in the upper left-hand corner, you'll see Department of Government Efficiency. Underneath that, it says the people voted for major reform. And then you have the various tabs: savings, spend, workforce regulations, join, and about. And of course, like you said, the disclaimer / information at the top, and official website of the United States government.
Just in case you weren't sure.
Yeah, just in case you weren't certain.
Because I can see how you could land on this page without being certain.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'll check it, but I doubt. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh,
right.
Well, look at that.
Look at that. So the first thing here, the landing page is Doge's tweets.
Yeah.
Posts, X. I don't know what the hell you call them now, X's. But either way, if you look, it's basically their social media posts on the X platform. Now, before we start digging into all of this, because there's a lot here, I want to show you something and you tell me what you think. Okay, go ahead.
Can you scroll down just a little bit?
Absolutely.
Huh. Just keep
going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so it usually is about 2 posts a day.
Yeah.
I just noticed that like the top 2 were both like really close to each other.
Okay.
But it does seem, it seems typically about, well,
3,
this is a lot of posts.
Yeah,
on the
I know
19th.
on the 18th and 19th. Well, the 18th, they had 1 post here. It's just a retweet of, and then if you click on it, obviously it takes you to X.
Oh,
but,
okay.
If you accidentally click on it, it'll just take you to the direct link to the post.
All right.
Okay, so first of all, before we kind of dive into this, let's talk about what you know about DOGE.
Okay.
What do you know about it?
I mean, I know it's basically just, for lack of a better term, it's just auditing of the entire government and how they waste taxpayer dollars and, you know, fixing some critical issues,
Right.
things like that.
The sad reality is that the United States is trillions. I think $35 trillion in debt.
Something like that, yeah.
$1 trillion in debt. We have to do something. The way we've been doing things is not working.
Yeah.
Even if you think that DOGE is horrible and Elon Musk is the devil and all this stuff, you have to admit
It's about time we get a department like this.
we have to do something. The funny thing is this department, it just changed the name. This actually was established a long time ago. It just hasn't been doing its job. Exactly.
Yeah, what have they been doing up till now?
That's a great question. Okay, so let's actually get into this. I want to show you and how many people do you think work for the executive branch of the United States government?
Oh God. Should or do?
Do.
Probably thousands.
Right. Hell, even like 100,000 people would be a lot, right? That's what I thought too. However, to meet the U.S. government, the United States government, the executive branch alone has 2,252,162 people who work there, with 16,436 subordinate offices, with a total wage.
Quick pause.
Yep.
Two things that I want to get right off. First of all, if you just drop the first number of the head count, that is what I expected the executive branch to with government bloating and how ridiculously oversized
250,000 people would be what you'd expect. You would say, okay, no,
what I was expecting with government bloating was like 252,000.
That's what I'm saying. 250,000 people.
Oh yeah, sorry, 250,000. I don't know what. Yeah, 250,000 people with the bloating I know of is that's what I was expecting.
Yeah.
No, just toss another digit in there. Why don't you?
Yep. 2.25 million people in just the executive branch
and
of the federal government.
Subordinate offices. That's not subordinate officers. That's subordinate offices.
Right. Which
probably have more people in them.
Listed down here, by the way. Which we'll get to. We're not going to do a deep dive. By the way, guys, if you're looking for a deep dive on the DOGE website, Sean and I are going to do that. This is literally showing the next generation what our government has been up to.
Can either you or me, can one of us run a calculation? Total wages, 211 billion.
Yeah, $211.3 billion.
Divide that by the.
Well, it tells you the average employee makes $93,828 per year. And it shows like the salaries, like right here, 207,000 employees make 60 to 70K a year. And it gets, smaller. But look at that, 94,300 376 employees make 150 to 160K per year. Now, I don't know about you, ladies and gentlemen, but that's more than I make.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's more than my wife makes. Look at this. And it just keeps going up. So the average employee is 47 years old and has worked there for 10 years. Now, the executive branch should change every administration, right? No, of course not. This is where we get into the deep state and bureaucratic rule is what it's called. So cabinet level agencies, right?
Oh, of course, another 2 million.
2 million. Now, this is all subordinate to the executive branch.
I know.
So it's contained within.
Okay.
So 2 million of those employees are for the cabinet level agencies. But look at all this, dude. Department of Agriculture has 24 departments under it.
That seems excessive.
Department of Commerce.
Like I'm no, agriculture guru, but 24 does seem excessive.
Let's take a look.
Yeah.
So you have Departmental Administration, Office of Food Safety,
Tribal Relations.
Oh, yeah.
With 3 departments under them?
Yep. Let's see here. Administrative team, program team with 5 under them, and tribal college and outreach team with 5 different offices. Yeah.
Are we thinking of the same tribal, or is this some government lingo for something?
No, this is
like actually tribal.
Yeah, tribes like Native Americans. Yeah. Or what's the word now? Indigenous peoples. Indigenous. Yeah, aka Native American. Yeah, because America. All right. So look. Office of the Chief Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Officer. Thankfully closed under DJT. But Office of the Assistant Secretary for Civil Rights. Office of the Assistant Secretary for Congressional Relations. 20 offices under them. And that's cabinet.
I knew it was bad, but I didn't know it was this bad.
That's cabinet level agencies. Large independent agencies. What did it say? 43? Let's go back.
Yep.
Yeah. 43 large independent agencies, such as the Small Business Administration, Smithsonian Institute, U.S. Agency for Global Media, Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, aka the FDIC, the people who make sure that your money's there in the bank. General Services Administration, National Credit Union Administration, Social Security.
Nuclear Regulatory Commission does seem...
it's kind of important. Yeah, absolutely. But
kind of interesting.
But look at all the offices under it.
Like,
dude.
How many offices do you need?
Exactly.
Good Lord.
Yeah, the Nuclear Regulatory Commission has almost 3,000 people. Almost 3,000 people who work there. Here? Yeah, hiccups. The average employee makes $142,827 per year. Now, to be fair, I mean, you're talking about nuclear regulations.
Yeah.
I mean, I would think that people would be extremely qualified and extremely educated to work in that.
You'd hope. But it is the government after all.
Yeah. I'm not even going to get into it, but if this was our only focus, I would show him the individual who was in charge of the nuclear arsenal under Biden, but we'll leave that for another time.
Oh boy.
Yeah. But this is just medium independent agencies. Look at.
Oh, there's another nuclear
one. Yeah. Yeah. There's tons of stuff. Presidio Trust. Development Finance Corporation with 67 offices under them.
Dude.
It is absolutely nuts. Absolutely insane.
I like how it doesn't really matter where you go. The total wages is always in the billions.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. Now, this is the U.S. government because it's all they have so far as the executive branch. $211 billion in wages per year, dude. Think about that. $200 billion is a lot of fucking money, man.
More money than you or I will ever even know about in our lifetime.
So if we go to spend, right?
Oh boy.
This shows the agency and how much they spent in 2019 versus 2024. Social Security Administration, as a for example, in 2019 spent 1.1 trillion. That's $1,101.8 billion for those of you not able to view. Social Security Administration fiscal year 2024 is now up to
$1.5 trillion.
Yeah. Yeah. And the wild part is, so the media and Elon Musk have a disagreement when it comes to Social Security and whether or not dead people are collecting Social Security checks, right? What we know for sure is that the database contains people who are at least 150 years old. Whether those people are receiving benefits or not, we don't know that. I don't know that.
Right.
But why? Why is that a thing? So interestingly enough, right? Social Security Administration gets, well, this year, $1.5 trillion, but the Department of Defense is $826.3 billion. So what happened to spending all our money?
Right? This is America. Why every single penny that pours into this country, why are we not funneling it directly into making more? What the hell are we up to now?
Freedom seeds. We need freedom seed launchers.
Is F-35?
I think F-30 or the F-22, then the F-35, and then I think they're working on something else now.
They're working on it. See, we need more money to defense.
What is it? The NGD or something next.
Never heard of it.
NGF something. Anyway, basically 6th gen fighters. The F-22 and 35 are.
We should have 4 models of them out already.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
Depressing.
But if you look down at all of this money, now I will say this: one thing I am very disappointed in, as far as DOGE goes, is when the website first launched, there was basically a receipts tab. A tab, let me see the proof, right? When you click on that, it said coming soon, up by Valentine's Day.
And it ain't.
Valentine's Day came and went, and I'm not seeing that. However, that aside, savings though, it says here, let's balance the budget. DOGE's total estimated savings so far are $55 billion, which is a combination of fraud detection, deletion, contract lease cancellations, contract lease renegotiations, asset sales, grant cancellations, workforce reductions, programmatic changes, and regulatory savings. We are working to upload all of this data in a digestible and fully transparent manner with clear assumptions consistent with applicable rules and regulations. To get started, listed below are a subset of contract and lease cancellations. For the former, the contracts listed are those that have been posted publicly on www.fpds.gov. Note that the FPDS posting of the final termination notices can have up to a 1-month lag. These specific listed contracts account for approximately 20% of overall DOGE savings. Last updated February 17th. This will initially be updated twice per week. Over time, the website will improve and the updates will converge to real time, which will be dope.
Right.
Oh, here we go. Wall of receipts, a transparent account of DOGE's findings and actions. Okay, see?
Oh, I'm kind of upset that they did.
I didn't see the receipt button up there. So, okay. So let's look here. According to this is, you know what? Here's Bloomberg, right? Politico. Here we go. Politico. Washington Post. All these are subscriptions that our government is spending money to buy these liberal rags. So let's take a look, for example, at Politico, right? Let's click this and see what happens.
God, it's flashbang.
I know, right? Okay, so here is the actual work order, basically contract thing, date signed.
It's a bunch of corporate and government jargon.
Right. Yeah, it just lists the who it is, partnership, and then is there an amount in here? That's what I'm looking for. Let's see. Hold on. Let's scroll back up here. Last modified date, purchase order, award ID. Here it is.
Yep.
Base and all options value $635,375. This is for 2 months. Period of performance start date 12/21/2024. Completion date 2/10/2025.
Holy shit.
No way, dude.
No, that cannot be possible. They did not pay 635 grand for 2 months.
Dude,
nah.
That can't be.
We have to be misunderstood.
Right.
Neither of us claim to be experts at looking at these.
Yeah,
There
I'm
is
not going to pretend.
No way.
Right. I'm not going to pretend that I'm some sort of financial guru able to decipher this stuff.
We are either getting this wrong.
Yep.
Or it is just mind-meltingly stupid.
It says right here, value $635,375, which we know that is the amount that was shown on there, but we don't know if that was
way it was for 2 months.
Dude, there's no way.
We have to be doing something.
Right.
Like, no.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, see more. Wall Street Journal. Imagine that, dude. Look at all these procured CQ roll call, Bloomberg, annual subscriptions to Politico for $255,000. Dude. Anyway.
Wait.
Yep.
Did you see the diversity? Yeah.
Equity. Yep. Department of Agriculture. $25 million.
And there's more. There's so many that are that much.
Yep.
Hold on. Click on one of them.
Okay, let's look at this one.
View on FBS.
Oh, yeah, $25 million.
I assumed it would say that.
Let's take a look at what the details are. Okay, so according to this, period of performance start 9/30/2023, last date to order 1/22/2025. $25 million.
For what? What exactly are they buying here?
AMA Consulting. They are paying. Okay, yeah, they're paying $25 million to a consulting firm for them to tell them how to be diverse, equitable, and inclusive.
You're shitting me.
No, dude. Apparently, there are multiple of these.
Yeah, okay, look at the bottom there. Business types.
Yep. Minority-owned business, Black American-owned, women-owned small business. Well, I mean, how can you say no to that?
Right? That's important.
Right? Yep.
Assessment and training services for DEI.
Yep.
Sorry. DEIA.
DEIA. Yeah. I'm sorry. Diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility. Because you don't want
that makes it all better.
That changes everything.
Yeah.
I mean,
really, $25 million is a small price to pay.
Well, yeah, dude.
Except it was like 6 times over.
Dude, it's nuts.
It just gets funnier.
So here's another one. Oh, okay. So hold on. This is USDA Food and Nutrition Service. Hold on.
It really did hit me, right? That this DEI thing is going through every agency, including the ones that, are actually important.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's like a fungus. It's grown.
I don't know about ridiculous. You, but I don't want. How do I put this in a digestible term for the viewers?
No, just say it, man. Here's the thing: DEI is racist at its core.
Well, yeah,
that's the thing.
It's specifically excluding white Americans.
Right. And
putting that out
there.
The
problem is America was designed as a meritocracy, which means you succeed based on how well you do something.
Yeah.
When you are forced to ignore
how well people are doing so that you can hire people who do it worse but look different.
Exactly. Okay, so
if the FDA is crawling with DEI hires, I'm not so sure I like the FDA as much as I used to.
Right.
Right.
Yep. And so total contract savings, the top 10 agencies, USAID, which I'm sure you've heard mentioned, even if you don't know everything about it.
I've heard mentioned.
Department of Education, number 2, Personnel Management, 3, Health and Human Services, and on down the list. And of course, like we said, total contract value, savings. This is how much they're saving the taxpayers allegedly. I will say I feel a lot better now that I can actually see the things that they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, what the hell is this? $31,940 for an LAC gender equity facilitator.
Facilitator.
Oh, dude, get the fuck out of here with that. Okay. All right, we're going to move on because I want you to see this. This is what we mean, though, when those of us who want smaller government say the government has grown to ridiculous.
It has.
Yeah, never intended levels. Here is a perfect example of it right here. I love this so much, I cannot even articulate how much I love this. It's the unconstitutionality index. What the hell does that mean?
Oh, boy.
This is the number of agency rules created by unelected bureaucrats. You know, the very things the left is crying about that Elon Musk is not elected, for each law passed by Congress in 2024. So for every law passed, 18.5 rules per law.
Dude.
Yeah. In 2023, 44.38 rules per law. Obviously, guys, the blue line is rules. The green lines are laws. In 2016, 18.09 rules per law. Dude, it's insane. You just look at the level of the blue compared now. Code of Federal Regulations, total words, 98.6 million.
Do you know how much you would have to pay me to read 100 million words?
Right?
You know what?
It's nuts.
Can I don't care which one of us does it. Can one of us Google how many words say the entire Lord of the Rings, what trilogy is it?
Okay, yeah.
Let's
all
see.
Of it. Hold on.
I'm curious.
How many words is the entire?
It just makes it more digestible.
Yeah.
You know, word to word comparison. 480,000.
Yep, there it is, right there. 480,000 words across the 3 volumes. So total, not even 500,000. So,
dude,
that is a shit ton.
It's like harrowingly large.
Yeah, that is absolutely nuts. So let's say 2 Lord of the Rings and a little is 1 million ish, right? So 200 read Lord of the Rings over 200 times.
The entire trilogy. 200 times.
All of it 200 times to read all the words in the federal regulations. Total sections of regulations 215,230. Just in 2024. See, obviously, boom, boom. 83, 85 million, 84, 85. 80,
they really had to take a few years to figure out how to get past that 85 million roadblock. They were like, how can we make this any less comprehensible? And they were like, Eureka!
Right?
And figured it out.
Exactly. Okay.
Leave it to the government to figure out how to run the government worse and still take years to do it.
And still take all your money to do it.
Right? Like,
federal regulations by agency. We're not going to go through all of them, but as you can see, the Department of the Treasury, which, 14.5 million words, the EPA, 12.18 million, DOT, 6 million, et cetera, et cetera. Now, like I said, guys, tomorrow night, me and Sean are going to be doing a deep dive into the website, looking at the receipts, doing all of that. This is just a very brief overview. Here's what I really love. One of the things that I actually really like about DOGE, right? If you click on About, it takes you right to whitehouse.gov, establishing and implementing the President's Department of Government Efficiency Executive Order, January 20th, 2025. And it goes down and says exactly what DOGE is and its purpose, its mission, all that. Yeah.
My reaction to the information thus presented can be easily summarized.
Okay.
Just 2 words.
Okay.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that is the I can just condense it so easily as simply holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah. So one of the interesting things to me is we all knew our government was out of control.
Oh, yeah.
Like all of us know that, even the ones who pretend to love it. Our federal government is out of control. I could make the argument for state and local as well, but for now, let's just talk about federal. We know the federal government is out of control. What we didn't have was an easily digestible, very palatable way to see exactly
How bad it's gotten.
How bad it's gotten. Precisely.
I would never, if you had given me 100 chances to guess, I would have never guessed that there were 2.25 million employees for just the executive branch. I thought the executive branch was supposed to be the one with the fewest and the most, like, I thought that was the exact point of the executive branch, was it was, you know, at the top of the food chain, and and then the rest is
right. Obviously, you know, as far as individuals go, there should be a limited number of individuals because the power of the executive branch is vested in the office of the president, who is the, which I knew this, but I didn't really think about it. It is the only elected official elected by the entire nation. Makes sense when you say it, but I saw that. I'm like, yeah, no kidding.
The only one, which is why they have so much power, because they represent, or supposed to represent, the will of the people, entire nation.
Exactly. Now, I got a couple of videos that I want to show you briefly. Go ahead.
Do we have many? Sorry, brain fart.
No, you're good.
Do we have many Canadian viewers, or?
I don't get too many Canadians. I've had some from Russia, actually.
Really?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, he started watching when I did the Tucker interview with Vladimir Putin.
Who is
watch party? My buddy from Russia, man.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
I just wanted to make sure we were on the same page.
Yeah. Anyway, he started watching then, but I don't actually know if anybody from based on the podcast downloads, I do have a couple of listeners from Canada, a few. You want to say something to our Canadian friends?
Not really.
No? Okay. Speaking of Canada.
Where's this going?
Well, first of all, what do you think about this whole...
I feel bad for Canadians mostly. Like,
okay, you feel bad for them. That's interesting. Why that?
Because they're kind of going through exactly what this country was going through not too long ago.
Okay.
Like,
okay. You're talking about with like Justin Trudeau.
Yeah. The just psychotic government overreach there.
Right.
Like the actual manic level.
Oh, it's
nuts,
reached.
Man. I just kind of feel bad for the general Canadian populace.
I felt bad for us until, DJT got back.
That's what I'm saying. Like they're going through what we were going through not too long ago.
Which, speaking of, dude, so well, there are a couple of things that I want to show you, but
okay.
There, the president, Trump, and Trudeau have been kind of trading stuff back and forth, where Trump's calling Canada the 51st state. And he talks about Trudeau as the governor of the 51st state.
I am aware of that.
Okay.
And I am so on board.
So that's what I was going to ask. How do you feel about Canada being the 51st state?
I say we should have more than 51st by now. We should just like that Grey Goo movie, or is it a movie?
There's a Grey Goo game.
There's a game,
but there are movies that
we should just be that ever absorbing mass in the world.
Manifest destiny, man. I mean,
exactly.
It's we didn't reach the end of the continent. Right.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. There's still like a whole other hunk of continent to annex.
Oh,
I say we get them on our side. I can't imagine too many Canadians would be mad. You guys can even keep the maple leaf as your state flag.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
So let's see here. Let me find what I'm looking for. Okay. So first of all, how much do you, I'm not even going to ask how much you know. What is your impression of J.D. Vance, the vice president?
I honestly don't have a whole lot of one because I haven't really seen or heard much about him.
Okay.
It's mostly been focused on, the DOGE and Elon Musk and Trump.
Right.
Right.
What I want to make sure we touch on this because you had a take that I thought was phenomenal.
Okay.
Let's talk about Elon Musk for just a moment.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So I absolutely love the fact that this whole Doge thing is happening.
Yeah.
And all of that. I love the fact that Twitter/X is now predominantly a free speech platform. There's still some stuff that,
there's some wrinkles
get you on there. Yeah, there's some parameters like always. But for the most part, it's a lot better than it was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So there are those who are celebrating Elon Musk as the savior of mankind. What's your message to them?
Don't forget the people who also condemn him to hell with everything in their heart.
That too. Yep.
There's extremes.
Oh, there are definitely extremes.
Something I told you a while ago and something that I'll repeat here is while he is certainly, at least so far, seemingly a force for extreme good and change, a lot of things are going a lot better than they were.
Yep, I agree with that.
He is still a multi-billionaire.
Right.
He is still insanely rich and insanely powerful, et cetera, et cetera.
And has no idea what it's like to live a regular American life.
Yeah.
He just has no concept.
But
however, go ahead.
Like, as with every multi-billionaire, they are not your friend. While he might want to genuinely help the average American and just make America great again, right? He's still not your friend. At least if he is, give it a little bit more time to figure that out. I'm not jumping to conclusions about the guy. I'm not going to say that he's, hellspawn. I'm not going to say that, he's the best, Elon. But yeah, that kind of sums it up. He's not your friend. He's still a multi-billionaire, and multi-billionaires are usually similar.
Usually, yes, I would agree.
I have my trepidations about him.
I could see that.
So far, I'm on board with what he's done and what he's doing, and I see no pitfalls yet.
Okay,
but I'm not gonna rely on him if I'm bleeding out in a garage somewhere.
Yeah,
I can't hit him up on the phone and go, "Hey man, how's it going?"
I think that is wise. And I wish they're going to need these.
Okay.
I wish that more people would understand that, like I said, it may not even be like, intentionally good, intentionally bad. It just is. And maybe there is a degree of self-preservation in this, but I would agree with you. He is not your friend. He doesn't know you're alive, bro.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't. I know it's all
like
twisted up.
Not anymore, it ain't.
Okay, so let me make sure that this is set up right because I've had this sometimes go all wonky. Okay, I think we're good. All right. First of all, have you guys seen this nightmare fuel? For those of you who've watched the channel for any length of time, Memology 101, you'll know it, you love it. Here we go. You ready for this?
I guess. Oh, Jesus.
Protoclone. This is from @CloneRobotics.
Oh, no.
Protoclone, the world's first bipedal musculoskeletal android. Here we go. The protoclone is a faceless, anatomically accurate synthetic human with over 200 degrees.
Yeah, because that's not horrifying at all. Yeah, watching this thing strung up on ropes, kicking around like he's being hung from the gallows is not the most disconcerting thing I've seen all week.
Right.
Like, as much as I stay off social media, I am still perpetually online. I'm a teen boy. I am online all the time. This is the most freakishly terrifying thing I've seen all month.
Wow. So,
like, if it was just standing there, that'd be one thing. But this thing is strung up from its back, kicking around like it's dying.
yes.
This isn't horrifying at all.
Right. It's over 200 degrees of freedom, over 1,000 myofibers, and 500 sensors. For those of you who are just listening, Memology 101, sweet man-made horrors beyond my comprehension.
The issue is that I can comprehend it just fine. That's the problem, actually,
Right.
is that it's not beyond my comprehension. It's
exactly.
This is horrible.
But that's the name of the video.
Yeah.
Sweet, man-made horrors beyond my comprehension. You explaining and describing this thing does not do it justice. So look it up.
It looks like you dipped a man in plaster.
Yeah, that's actually really good. But they're the weird, like, what? Ugh! It's so freaky. Its leg is like twisting and shaking.
I know the way he's like trying to kick around is horrifying.
Yeah. This thing is so disturbing, man.
But why?
And then it just goes limp,
Why would
like
you
it
do that?
gives
Why would
up.
you do any of that?
Dude,
Why would you do that? Exactly. Why would you do any of that? Is my honest reaction as well. Like, holy crap, dude. So, Trump, okay.
do I still need the headphones?
Yeah, you'll need these.
Okay.
There's a couple of videos that I want you
Just wanted to make sure. This is a wreck.
Yeah, you could take a minute and get those untangled. These are just cheap little earbuds because I used to have it play through the speakers, but for some reason, the new mic I got, it creates echoes and it was horrible. So we had to start using
All right, I
earbuds.
think we're in business. Perhaps.
It's all good. In the meantime, okay, so there are a couple things that I want to show you guys. The reason I asked him how he felt about JD Vance is because he was in Europe, okay? And he gave a speech in Europe that basically asked the Europeans to stand up and defend their free speech because it was under attack.
Yeah.
Of course, the press then asked him some ridiculously obtuse question about asking if did Germany suppress free speech? Because of free speech, the Germans rose to power. You know, the party with the mustache guy. That free speech was the problem. Oh yeah,
dude.
Oh dude, it's so inane. It's unbelievable. But I want to show you this because it's pertinent. How it started.
What?
How it started. JD Vance. In Britain and across Europe, free speech is in retreat. February 14th, 2025.
The threat that I worry the most about vis-a-vis Europe is not Russia, it's not China, it's not any other external actor. And what I worry about is the threat from within, the retreat of Europe from some of its most fundamental values shared with the United States of America. In Britain and across Europe, free speech, I fear, is in retreat.
How it's going? Just in, Apple removes cloud encryption feature from UK after the government ordered the company to build a backdoor for accessing user data.
That's actually psychotic. Just see on the news. Like, that isn't something you would expect to just be on the news. That's like something you should have to dig to find out.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be doing it, number one. But if they do, the fact that it's just like, yeah, they did it. They said they did it. Everyone knows they did it.
What is wild to me is Apple's supposed to be the security company. They're supposed to be the company that won't release stuff to the government. Like, that was the whole reason people were buying iPhones for a long time, was because Apple said, no, your data's safe with us. Guess what? Guess what? Let's finish it up. February 21st. So a week later. A week freaking later.
I hesitate to swallow, and I certainly don't want to spit it out. Oh, what the hell? I told you so.
Yeah. So America really is the last bastion of free speech. It just is. And while the system we have here is not perfect,
it's better than whatever the hell they got going on.
Precisely.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
So there are two more things I want to show you.
All right.
And then we'll get into the other stuff. But these, I think, will be really enlightening. Here we go. Again, Memology 101. The title is Boom! Exclamation. How it started.
A first for a major city in the U.S. Starting this morning, drivers are going to have to pay extra if they go into the busiest part of Manhattan. ABC's Phil Lipoff has more on this. Good morning, Phil. A lot of people talking about this.
Just what drivers want to hear, Gio. Good morning to you. New York City's Transportation Authority says congestion pricing is not only crucial for breaking through all that gridlock in the city, but for future investments in the city's all-important transit system still. Some see it as an additional fee, a tax, even unfair.
Like it's a crazy concept.
Morning,
even
New
unfair.
York City has the green light.
We've been talking about this in New York for close to 50 years. Now it's time to get started with this historic change.
Look how giddy that mofo was. The grin on his face, like he is salivating,
like he's changing the world for the better.
Right. That's exactly it. Like he's changing the world for the better. And what are they doing? Charging people even more money for an overpriced ass city.
Starting today, the nation's largest city will be the first to charge drivers $9 to enter the busiest part of Manhattan, or as the Metropolitan Transportation Authority calls it, the congestion relief zone, which includes local streets and avenues south of and including 60th Street. Toll rates will vary by type of vehicle and time of day. In an already expensive city with inflation still affecting the price of almost everything, the plan is generating mixed reaction on the street and online.
Okay, how it's going.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
New York NYC congestion pricing axed as Trump's DOT pulls approval of hated toll. Donald J. Trump.
Long live the king.
2025, 12:58 p.m. Congestion pricing is dead in all caps. Manhattan and all of New York City is saved in all caps. And then the statement that is sending the left into a feeding frenzy. Long live the king.
Dude.
Oh, my God. You fucking... That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
That's why he's the MVP. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
Dude, that clip. and I'll tell you now, I have no idea where that clip comes from.
No idea.
No clue the context, but I love it. I love it. And Sean, hi, Sean, popped in. He said it's about control. Absolutely.
He's here?
Everything he is online.
Oh, I was so confused.
No, you're good. Yeah, he's watching.
Yeah, I was like, I thought, what do you mean? What do you mean, Sean?
If you look at the screen, you should see. Oh, no, you won't see it because never mind.
I see nothing.
Okay.
I can press the little chat button right
No,
there.
you're good.
Are you sure? I'd like
Yeah,
to read
yeah,
the chat. That'd be great.
It's
I can
fine.
press the chat button. It'd be really easy.
Negative. Anyway. No, you're
Suck all
good.
the fun out of things.
So here's the I mean, if you want to look up the chat on there, you're fine. But here's the thing, guys. A lot of these governors
it doesn't say anything.
were absolutely, you got to be on comments. I think chat is like private chat. If you go to comments.
Hello, Sean.
Anyway, Sean will be here tomorrow night, 7 p.m., and we're going to do an actual deep dive on the DOGE website.
Don't be late.
But you guys, I think, are going to love this. I saw this right before I came online, and I did not actually see Memology's video on it, but I mean, we all know he has quality material. You know what he has? He has an editor. That's what he has. That's what I mean. I'm just kidding. I kind of sort of have one. Darn it. Kind of.
Yep.
Yeah. Remember Brit?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You do.
Yes. But her laptop crashed. The brand new laptop she just got, dude. Poof. I don't know exactly what happened, but
Was it an Apple laptop?
No, it was a Windows. Anyway, let me
Well,
show
Windows
you guys
sucks
this.
Too.
Hmm?
Windows sucks too. They both suck.
I mean, that's just the way it is, unfortunately. Windows, Mac, it doesn't matter. You're going to have issues sometimes. Okay, so let me just play this and we'll see. He should do a good job of setting up. He usually does. There we go. Okay. So this is from M101 News. Tweet. President Trump clashes with Democrat Maine Governor Janet Mills after she refused to comply with executive order banning trans athletes from competing in girls and women's sports. So there's the context. She said, I'm not going to do that. I refuse.
I can't hear you with these in.
That's why I wear
The
watch.
NCAA has complied immediately, by the way. That's good. But I understand Maine. Is the Maine here, the governor of Maine? Are you not going to comply with it?
I'm complying with the state and federal laws.
We are the federal law. Well, you better do it. You better do it because you're not going to get any federal funding at all if you don't. And by the way, your population, even
What a
though it's
threat.
somewhat liberal, although I did very well there, your population doesn't want men playing in women's sports. So you better comply because otherwise you're not getting any federal funding.
See you in court.
Every state, good. I'll see you in court. I look forward to that. That should be a real easy one.
Dude, do you know how ballsy you have to be to contend with the actual president's lawyers?
Right?
Like, I'm just saying.
Right. To tell the president, I'll see you in court. Like, what?
Right?
What? And he's right, by the way. Polling shows across the nation that a very, very tiny portion of the population supports trans athletes being allowed to compete.
How many of those, what percent of that percent do you think is trans?
Oh, a tiny fraction, of course, because that's the reality. A tiny fraction of the population is even part of any LGBT
Right,
elemental
yeah.
P group, right? But trans individuals themselves represent an even further minuscule portion of the population. If you want to pretend to be, there we
There
go.
you go.
Something, knock yourself out. I doesn't bother me
Right?
as long as you're not trying to force other people
To validate that.
to validate that. Exactly. Okay. So that's all I wanted to show you. In the future, Donovan and I are planning to do a series, right?
Yep.
You want to talk about it or do you want me to get started or?
I figured we'd just go back and forth.
Okay. So the idea that we have and the reason for the name of the segment, D&D After Dark, as much as I would love to play Dungeons and Dragons
Right.
for you guys, we aren't filming that At least not yet.
We could consider filming
We
that
could.
and have the group, voice in on what Thrognor should be doing.
We could. So do you want to tell them about your character briefly?
Sure.
Okay,
We're gonna
briefly.
keep this
briefly.
We're gonna keep this brief because I
He
could
can
sit
talk for
here
hours.
and talk your ear off for days
Mhm.
about Thrognor's conquest. But half orc barbarian. I'm not even really sure where I should jump
Right,
off
there's
here.
so much that
Right.
okay, it's his first real session of D&D.
First ever,
First
really.
real campaign. Let's say that.
Yeah.
First real campaign. He's done a little role playing in the past, like mostly online and whatnot. But as far as actually playing with dice and books and all of that, this is his first campaign. Now the campaign's been going on a little while. Your level
9. I
9
almost said
now.
8.
Yep. He recently got level 9, so it's not a super high powered campaign yet.
Yet.
But
Emphasis on yet.
yeah, but assuming he survives, that's what he's going for.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's not what this is going to be. I know D&D might give you that.
Yeah.
I am very familiar with D&D. I've played it since I was a
He's
kid.
the DM.
Right.
Like
But what we were thinking is more of unexplained mysteries, cryptids, creepy stuff.
yeah,
Like
just spooky things.
spooky, interesting
Yeah.
things.
Cryptids around the campfire,
Right. Something like that. Because guys, like one of the things that's really interesting is, and to me, and nobody like talks about it as much as they should, is that we are constantly discovering species
Yeah.
we didn't know existed.
Yeah, constantly.
So these people who speak definitively about, oh no, that's not real, or this can't exist, how the hell do you know?
Right? Maybe it does.
Maybe it does.
Unlikely. Probably.
But I'm not saying it does.
I'm not saying no either.
Exactly. I'm not saying, let's see, just out of curiosity, how many new
Hashtag not sponsored, by the way. I just
right, not
grabbed
sponsored.
a can.
Oh, okay. So wow. Okay, this is a
40
lot.
to 55 per day.
Yeah. So okay, here we go. Well, let's put us at the bottom so you guys can see. How many new species are discovered each year? Scientists estimate, now this is the
AI over.
AI overview, but we go right here. About 18,000 new species are discovered every year. Every year. Averages out to 40 to 55 new per day. Every single day they are discovering something they did not know existed. So to go, oh, Bigfoot doesnend exist.
Right?
Loch
Maybe
Ness
it does.
monster. Loch Ness,
Debatable.
but we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
And I tend to take a hopeful skeptic view.
Yeah.
That's what I reference myself, because I am hopeful that this stuff is out there,
Right?
because
cool.
it's cooler.
Terrifying, objectively, like morbidly horrifying.
Right.
Yeah, would the world be a better and safer place without those things? Totally.
Maybe.
However, cool.
It is
Funky
cool.
and awesome.
Right? So we're going to feature stories and personal experiences with some unusual things.
Phenomena.
Yeah, there you go. Unexplained phenomena. Speaking of unexplained phenomena, right? So apparently this year is the year of disclosure, because we are seeing a lot more pilots reporting on UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomenon, right? Flying saucers, UFOs, whatever the hell you want to call them.
Right.
A lot more pilots are feeling bolder and are coming forward.
Okay.
And
whatever happened to those like glowing lights in the sky?
exactly right. Okay, so that's a really good question.
Yeah,
and
that was
it
like
is
a big thing a little
counterpoint.
while ago.
Right. It's a counterpoint for me. So Trump made the claim that this was going to be the most transparent president, administration, the most transparent administration ever. The press secretary makes that claim. Now, we heard that bullshit before. However, I do think Trump's trying to make it that way. But one of the disappointments has been that whole New Jersey drone thing.
Yeah.
Because immediately upon taking office, the press secretary issued a statement that we know what they are and they're friendly. And that was it. Some of them they're registered with the FAA. It's okay. Okay, but that doesn't tell me,
right?
Are they just commercial drones? Are they looking for something? Because there's evidence. I won't call it conclusive evidence, but there is. Oh, Sean's got a link.
And
Levitt reveals New Jersey drones authorized FAA. Yep. So my question is, okay, great. But there is evidence. I won't call it conclusive evidence, but definitely evidence that these were nuclear sniffer drones. They're really large and are packed with instruments, and they basically detect radiation or the types of material used in nukes.
Why would we need
it? So
why would
that's
those just
the
be
question.
crawling around New Jersey?
Why the hell are these? First of all, so you're saying these things that are coming up out of the ocean are registered with the FAA?
Yep.
So who has control of them? That's what I would like to know.
Right.
At least go, no, it's the government.
Yeah.
It's a
the
private
U.S. government
business.
is doing something. Don't worry about it.
Right.
Well, at least it's the U.S. government, not,
So an interesting claim was made actually by, I don't remember who it was. Sean, do you remember who the congressman was that said, that these drones were actually made in China and Iran controlled the mothership or actually owned the drones? They were built in China, sold to Iran, and they were off the shores of our country. And and people are like, oh no, he's lying. He's, not telling the truth. And he swears that it's true. But then Trump, through Levitt, the press secretary, says, it's fine. Everything's fine. We're cool. Which, interestingly enough, is the same amount of information that we got from the Biden administration. I'm not thrilled about that. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I wanted a lot more information on that story, on that particular occurrence. But by all means, guys, if you have a video that you would like to see us do, if you have a topic that you think would be interesting, suitable, for the idea that we have, let us know. We have not set an official schedule yet, but we're going to start doing, do you want to do them live or do you want to do recordings? Have you decided?
We could do live.
Okay.
I really don't see a big difference between live and recorded. So
it depends.
Plus, I like seeing the occasional message pop up in chat.
Exactly. That's what I like. I really like the back and forth with the people in chat. There it is.
Jeff Van Drew.
Yep. It was Representative Jeff Van Drew of New Jersey. Yes, that's right. Thank you. And he swore it was foreign influence. So I don't know. So I think this is the drone mothership claim new info about Iran's drone activity. So one of the things that I found interesting that you may or may not know, so when this guy said, oh yeah, Iran, right? I'm like, bull. So here's an interesting fact. In the Desert Storm days, right around there, we were sending these stealth drones over Iran and Iraq, right? One of them got shot down. And Iran actually claims that they reverse engineered this stealth drone and have improved upon the design.
How long do you think it's going to be before, because this, even if they did shoot it down and they did reverse engineer it, this is a story that has happened before. How long do you think it's going to be before the U.S. basically goes, oh, did you? Bet. And just spends like $40 trillion on,
we've already advanced beyond that, but it was a real slap in the face and, basically a giant middle finger.
Yeah.
And because
my nose is not stuck itching once.
I actually made a mistake. They did not shoot it down, by the way.
Okay.
Here's the worst part. They hacked it and had it land. So it landed intact. They had an intact,
fully operational stealth,
fully operational to study. Yeah.
Supposedly.
There is substantial evidence that at least that part is true.
Fair
including enough. Footage of the drone landing. I mean, there's
fair enough.
Yeah. Put it this way: the U.S. had to admit, they got it.
Yeah.
Now, as far as
if they admit that, they did that.
Right.
That's probably pretty damning evidence.
Yeah, it is, and no one knows for sure whether Iran is telling the truth about how much they were able to reverse engineer / improve, but. It's not something I'm terribly thrilled about. I'll be honest. I mean, really? You guys let that happen? You suck, man.
Right? How do we not have kill switches in these things?
Thank you.
If one subroutine goes awry, how do they not just go?
Yep. That's what I'm saying. Especially given the level of the technology disparity at the time, allegedly, between Iran and the United States, dude. Like, come on.
I feel like a grandmother going at her grandkid. Why
right? So anyway, I think that we are looking forward to a real treat. There are a couple of stories, cryptids, whatever you want to call it, spooky type things that I think are going to be really, really interesting and exciting.
Yeah.
There are some though that are almost perfunctory, right? You're almost obligated to talk about.
Yeah, Mothman, the Sasquatch.
Right. But I think we may just like skip the obvious ones.
That's fair.
So much has been.
Yeah, I would honestly be completely okay with skipping Mothman, Bigfoot, the huge ones.
I think there's way better out there that have been done as far as Bigfoot or Mothman. Some of these other really well-known ones. I think there's still room to grow though with things like the Jersey Devil.
Yeah.
There's there's like a lizard man in Louisiana. Like all kinds of there's some interesting ones out there. Not to mention the Rougarou. The Rougarou, man. Rougarou. Anyway, so that's pretty much all we got for you today, but I'm genuinely looking forward to doing these videos with you. And I think it's going to be a good time for you guys that have been around for a little while. You'll remember Donovan as significantly younger.
Yeah.
And
it's been a while, hasn't it?
It has been a really long time since he's been on the show. We're going to try to change that. All right, guys. I appreciate you joining us as always. And without further ado, God bless you, God bless Indiana, and God bless the United States of America. I hope you have a wonderful evening. I'll catch you on the flip side.
The birds work for the bourgeoisie.
Love it.
If you'd like to support the show, please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/Dion's Daily Dose. This has been Dion's Daily Dose, hosted by Dion Bergeron. Executive producers, Sean Holgram and Michael Beebe. Copyright 2024. Dion's Daily Dose, all rights reserved.